Tonight, on St. Elsewhere.
Okay, how long?
35 minutes.
Give it up.
2.
Something funny?
No, sir.
Mr. Rockland, a young lady just died in here. You have a rotten sense of timing, you know that?
It's going lub-dub, lub-dub.
No, Ehrlich. If there's a murmur, it would be lub-sh-dub. Lub-sh-dub.
Oh, I see, lub-sh-dub.
Don't you ever question my authority again, lady, or I'll slam the door so hard on you, you won't know what hit you.
You're a good doctor, but you're an inadequate woman. I know it. Everybody knows it. You've got a cold heart.
You can get $300 for a new beaver, but we can't get $20 for a diaper service. I'm tired of it, Peter. I'm just sick of it.
3 people have died with symptoms of Legionnaires.
Donald would like to close down the ward.
I'm not a doctor, but don't you think closing it down is a little extreme?
No, I don't. Not if it's Legionnaires.
I asked him what the word impale means, and he stuck this letter open on his hand, and he said, stick that sucker through.
Listen, and it's going lub-dub, lub-dub.
No, Ehrlich. If there's a murmur, it would be lub-sh-dub. Lub-sh-dub.
Oh, I see, lub-sh-dub.
Try to remember that, will you? It could be the difference between your patient being alive or dead.
If he's a COPD, or you're going to need a baseline pulmonary function test. Is he still giving that story of coughing up blood?
Mm-hmm.
We'll have pulmonary scope him and check for lesions, then get a biopsy with the brush sheets.
Never a dull moment.
Where's mine?
I found this on the body of a 78-year-old patient.
Where are the dope fields? The helicopters are green.
He came down from CCU. He was there for 4 straight weeks. ICU psychosis.
Where are the dope fields?
There's some calcified granulomas on his chest x-ray, so that means the first thing we have to worry about is CA. Call Feldman and have him brought.
Excuse me. Hey, I'm going down to Chestnut Hill Reservoir later, do some night fishing. You want to come?
What are you, high on vitamin C? Fishing's illegal at Chestnut Hill.
I know that, but everybody does it.
Illegal as in put you in the same cell as Son of Sam, the Boston Strangler, John Wilkes Booth.
Come on, fishing's fun.
Ehrlich sitting on concrete, holding a stick with a string dangling in the water and ducking into the woods every time a cop car passes is not fun. A cardiac arrest in the middle of REM sleep, that's fun. Wino with an EEG of 2 spikes, that's fun. A little dalliance in the on-call room.
Oh, wait a second. I see you have other plans.
Oh.
Kathy Martin, I presume.
Oh, lucky for her, I'm not pumping iron.
Yeah, well, my sister had a midwife.
Shirley, this doctor's wife is not going to give birth at home.
There were no problems whatsoever.
Yeah, but still, I want Nina to have the baby in a hospital. I want her to have the best care possible.
Well, Jack, if you're so worried, why don't you deliver the baby yourself?
Mrs. Weingrot could have waited until rounds.
Who?
3:38, the woman you woke me for.
She complained of stomach pains.
Missing a bowel movement is not an emergency.
Did you look under it? Well, come on, look under it. It isn't? Damn it.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Yes, I looked in the cafeteria. I looked at every inch of this place. All right, it's $260. I'll get the money. Peter! Look, I gotta go now. I'll tell you what, if you find it, you call me, okay? Okay? Bye-bye.
Hell of a tumor board this morning.
Yeah, I heard.
Where were you?
Megan fell off a swing in the playground.
Oh, no. Anything serious?
Yeah, it's always serious, you know.
It was funny as hell this morning. Jackson gets up and starts carrying on and goes, death certificates prove that thyroid cancer hasn't increased in the last 10 years. Now, what are we doing about it? So Craig gets all bent out of shape and he screams out, because death certificates are written before they do an autopsy. I thought they were going to mix it up right there. Oh, you know, Samuel's going to do a radical neck, pure physical mutilation. You want to watch?
No, thanks.
Okay, I'll catch you later.
I was just trying to get a little sleep.
You haven't seen my beeper around here, have you?
Oh, no beeper. Beeper. If I do, I will let you know.
Donald.
Yeah.
Give a second to look in on a patient.
Well, who's the attendant?
Gannon, but he's in surgery all day, and I'm very worried about him.
Why?
Well, her name's Francine Delgado. She, 7 days ago, had a mitral valve replacement.
Well, what's her post-op course been
It
like?
was excellent until about 24 hours ago. She started vomiting, she started having diarrhea, temperature went through the roof, and in the last few hours, she's been coughing without sputum production.
She been complaining about any weakness?
Yeah, she hasn't. I just don't understand it. This is the first temp spike in GI distress she's had since she came out of surgery. Will you see her?
Yeah, sure. Where is she?
Follow me.
Miss Weatherhill, I'm going down to X-rays right now to take a look at it for you, okay? Good. Peter?
I can't talk right now. I lost my feet.
Excuse me. Did you see the head of hair on him? It's disgusting.
No, Moss, Craig's only a kid.
I know. So, you're off to Cabo San Lucas, hmm?
Yeah, tomorrow morning.
Ah, that's terrific, Dan. You deserve it. This place is not going to run very smoothly without you, though.
Oh, nonsense. Between Don Westphal and B.J. Cummings, I have no worries.
You know, that Cummings kid may be a good hospital administrator, but sometimes he can be a real hard-nose. I don't like people like that.
You've caught an infection, Francine, but it has nothing to do with your operation.
I feel like I'm on fire, but I can't stop shaking.
I already ordered a chest x-ray and sent a urine for culture.
All right, we'll speed up her IV to 100 per hour. Nothing by mouth. Get a sputum and send it down for routine culture and sensitivity and Dieterle stain. Blood culture times 3, 15 minutes apart, and then get her started on cephalothin, 1 gram 6 hours, and erythromycin, 1 gram every 6 hours. Right? IV piggybacks that.
I feel so bad, Dr. Westphal.
I know, sweetheart. I know.
Should we isolate her?
Yeah.
I'm spitting up phlegm.
Have you cut down on your cigarettes?
Yeah, a little.
I gotta tell you, Mr. Andover, 2 packs of cigarettes a day, 40 years. Your lungs look like the hills of West Virginia.
I don't mind spitting up so much, but it's green.
Could be coming down with pneumonia.
I'll get respiratory therapy down here for a pulmonary toilet, including an IPPB with bronchosol. Save me some of the sputum for a gram stain. Mr. Andover, I'm going to put you on some medication now. I don't want you coming down with pneumonia on top of everything else. Put him on methicillin, 1 gram, Q6 hours IV. Mr. Andover, can I get you anything else?
Boy, I'm dying for a smoke.
15 boxes of hemostats have disappeared in the last 2 months. I mean, it's getting worse, not better.
What makes you think they're not being used for medical purposes?
Well, I seen them at the head shops in Harbor Square. They use them as roach clips. You know what I mean.
I'm a bourbon straight-up man myself. You mean they use them to smoke pot? Huh?
Yeah, so they don't burn their fingers.
Necessity is the mother of invention.
Yeah, if it doesn't stab when they reach for one in an operation, they might have to use pliers.
Gotcha. I need the charts on 2 deceased patients from last week. I don't have their numbers. Sorry, their names are Brenda Perez and Lila Rothlein, R-O-T-H-L-E-I-N. They're Dr. Chandler's patients. Thank you.
Solitary pulmonary lesion. Probably cancer.
Yeah, it's a classic lesion of bronchogenic cancer. Uneven margins with calcifications like a crab. See here? Trabeculi invading the tissue.
Do we have autopsies on those 2 patients that died of pneumonia?
Perez and Rothwell? No, we didn't see any reason to. Cause of death was respiratory arrest, emphysema with complications.
What's up, Dr. Westphal?
I have a similar case. Francine Delgado.
Well, there's lots of infections in these old wards.
No, this isn't typical pneumonia. Compromised host, prodromal diarrhea, high temperature, slow pulse, productive cough.
Sounds like Legionnaires.
Did Perez or Rothlein now have any features that might be consistent with Legionnaires?
I don't remember. They went pretty fast. How are you treating Miss Delgado?
I gave her erythromycin and cephalothin.
I had a patient with diarrhea. Oh, wait.
What?
She came in with it, food poisoning.
Well, all this is premature, so let's keep it quiet, huh?
Sure, Dr. Westphal.
People get crazy. Hi, Kathy. How's it going?
Police just brought this one in. Found him lying in the meatpacking district. All his teeth were pulled out, and whoever did it really smashed in his chest. What can I do for you?
I have a sputum coming down for acid-fast fungal studies and a Dieterle silver stain. Can you look at it right away?
Dieterle, have we got Legionnaires?
Let's hope not.
The stain will take a while.
All right. I also have a serum titers for Legionella cooking. You let me know what you think, huh?
Donald has come to me quite concerned about the recent deaths on Ward 5.
And you think it's Legionnaires?
Possibly.
Have you checked with the Center for Disease Control in Atlanta?
No, not yet. We have a Dieterle down in pathology now.
so we'll just have to wait until the results come in.
I don't think that's very wise.
Donald would like to close down the ward.
Ward 5 has 35 beds. Now, I'm not a doctor, but don't you think closing it down is a little extreme, premature?
No, I don't. Not if it's Legionnaires. You see, there's a separate air conditioner in there.
Are you aware that we're due for our quarterly census? Our state subsidy is based on the number of beds used. If we close down Ward 5, even for a couple of days, we'll lose several $1,000s.
3 people have died with symptoms of Legionnaires. That's quite a coincidence.
Were the patients in good health?
No. 2 of them were elderly women with histories of chronic respiratory disease, and the third just come out of open heart surgery, but she was on Ward 5 before the operation.
There are a lot of infections running loose around the hospital. There were 3 million cases of pneumonia in the United States last year. 1/3 of them were of unknown origin. This is our most recent report on nosocomial infections. Were any of these people on a respirator?
2.
Well, we have hospital-acquired Pseudomonas infections from a respirator, 2 methicillin-resistant staph infections, and recently a run of gram-negative enteric bacilli, E. coli, Klebsiella. They're not sensitive to any of these standard antibacterial drugs. They're not even sensitive to the 3rd-generation cephalosporins. In each
I
case...
know. We isolate the patient, we put them on triple antibiotics and hope that one of them hits, but we do not close down a ward.
No, we don't.
I think we should wait for the Dieterle and the Legionella titers.
We know he checked out, Fiscus, but was he O or was he Q?
Q, definite Q. Hey, Kathy, sit over here.
What, with everybody?
What, everybody, Earl? Come on.
All right.
Here, get to a chair. Sit down. Enjoy. Okay, where was I? Yeah, so I go over to the wife and tell her she's a widow, okay? She gets all upset and says, I knew he'd pull something like that. And then she proceeds to ask my advice on how to spend the insurance money.
Interesting you should say that. The history of the residency program is quite fascinating, actually. As William Stewart Halstead, the noted endocrinologist and a close personal friend of my father, once said,
It's not a psychological problem, VJ.
No?
It's one of diction. You don't need a therapist. You need a tutor.
Yes?
Sure, look, VJ. It's impossible to be witty or charming or warm if you don't speak the language. No matter how smart you are, it's interpreted as being stupid.
He's going on and on about how a certain patient died of CHF from mitral stenosis. Talks for about 2 hours. Well, it's time for pathology to give its findings. A 3rd-year path resident stands up, looks Frazier right in the face, and says the mitral valve was perfectly normal. Frazier gets totally bent out of shape. I know it was mitral stenosis. I heard the murmur. I should know. The resident holds up his hand. He's got the valve in a jar. Says to Frazier, I have the valve. Have you got the murmur? It was perfect.
That's great. Dr. White, your patient, Mr. Andover, you prescribed methicillin?
Yes.
Are you aware that the man is allergic to penicillin? It's the last thing he needs is to go into an anaphylactic reaction.
I can't believe I did that. Look, I've been really preoccupied lately.
Try to concentrate on your patients, Doctor. This is going down on your evaluation.
Calling every time a patient has constipation or an IV pops out isn't a normal procedure. I mean, LOCEF has never been overly friendly or open. I always chalked it up to difference in personalities, but this is just getting worse.
Why is Osip giving you such a hard time?
I don't know.
Obviously, she resents you. I mean, look, face it, sisterhood, togetherness, that's fine up to a point. The bottom line is, you're a doctor. She's a nurse.
You know, my first day in the OR when I was a medical student, this old nurse says to me, "Don't you wear a nylon slip under your scrub gown, young lady. It might set up electrical charges and cause an explosion of the anesthetic gases and damage the OR. They don't even use explosive gases anymore."
You want my advice? You fight fire with fire. I mean, make her monitor vital signs every 15 minutes. Let her do 100 urines at night, huh? She'll get the message.
That's not my style.
Waking up at 4 in the morning to put in an IV, that's your style? Behavior modification can be a wonderful thing.
Why are they putting me into this contraption, Dr. Morrison?
We have to weigh you so that we can monitor you for malnutrition, dehydration, things like that.
I survived a depression, 8 years of boxing, being pancaked on a carrier in the Pacific. Hell, I made it through 3 marriages. But this damn hernia is putting me away like nobody's business.
It was an incarcerated hernia, Leo. Doesn't sound like much, but it is.
We're going to let you rest up here a while, Leo. It'll prevent bed sores.
Would you believe a rotting dinosaur like me used to be a handsome young buck like Dr. Morrison here?
180 pounds.
Heavyweight, Leo?
Oh, I was a light heavyweight. I made it number 6. Yeah, then Uncle Sammy grabbed me. The damn war probably kept me from getting killed. I mean, I couldn't jab to save my life.
Mean uppercut, no doubt.
Yeah, that's right. That... When can I, you know what, again?
We'll try and take the catheter out in a day or so.
It's killing me, Doc. I mean, it's humiliating. Oh, I'm just asking the doc if a beautiful doll like you is married. That's all.
Dr. Cavanero, room 254. Dr. Cavanero, room 254.
Annie. They want you in room 254.
Oh, I was just about to give Tom Selleck a complete physical.
Sorry.
Oh. Too bad, Tom. You'll just have to wait. Hi, Kathy.
Hi.
Bye.
Are you off for the rest of the day? Uh-huh. Nice dress. You know, I've never seen you wear white. I'm going to a funeral. Kathy, usually people wear black to funerals. I've noticed that. But you see, in Asia, white is worn for mourning. They consider white the absence of color, the absence of life, whereas black, the combination of all colors, is the symbol of life. I see. Who died? I don't know his name. You don't know the person who's being buried? They brought him into the morgue yesterday. They're going to dump him in the city cemetery. No marker or anything. That is real. Why don't you come over to our house for dinner sometime this week? I'd love for my husband to meet you. That'd be nice, Jacqueline. Thanks.
And bring Fiscus. Robert loves Fiscus.
Everybody does.
He's so funny. You know, I wish Robert had Fiscus's sense of humor. Robert just doesn't know how to have a good time.
Your husband's boring?
No. Well, sometimes a little. He's a workaholic. He's very low-keyed, very analytical. And it drives me crazy when he trims his own beard because he leaves little hair clippings all over the sink.
How horrible.
I guess I'm being a little hard on him, but my husband is not what you'd call a romantic.
Why do you stay with him?
Because I love him.
Dr. Nolan, C Pharmacy.
Well, what do you say? Thursday? My husband is a terrible chef. His lobster archduke will kill you.
Oh?
But we've got a great wine cellar.
Okay.
Good. Will you ask Fiscus or should I?
I'm seeing him tonight. I'll let you know. I'd better get going. I don't want to be late for the funeral.
Right.
Bye.
Bye.
I told her that. I tried to tell that nurse this was no kind of big deal.
It's just a little upset stomach.
That's what I thought.
It happens when you go back on solids. I want you to eat real light for a couple of days. Juices, soups, jellos, that kind of thing.
How about fruit?
Yeah, but Miss Shallow ordered a bucket of Cheerios.
I don't care what Mrs. Shallow told you on the telephone. She cannot have a bucket of chicken 2 hours before her operation.
Losef, why did you call me from Mr. Prensky?
He's having stomach cramps.
It was simple indigestion. Look, I'm going to say this one more time. Indigestion, insomnia, constipation, none of these are emergencies. They can wait until rounds.
I'm not paid to make those judgments, Dr. Cavanero.
Look, I have been up for 36 hours. I was trying to catch a little sleep.
I'm sorry, but that's not my problem.
Nurse Losef, I would like you to give a tap water enema to patients Weingart, Malian, and O'Connell when they wake up. Also, I would like daily weights and INOs on all my patients. Is that clear?
Yes, Dr. Cavanero.
Good.
Okay, how long?
35 minutes.
Come on, Francine.
Come on. Okay, stop CPR. Let's get a reading here. Asystole.
If somebody relieve me, I'm dead.
Okay, we'll go until the next blood gas comes in. Nurse, give me 1 amp IV epi 1 to 1,000.
5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, sweetheart, live.
4, 5.
Give me the numbers.
PO240, PCO265, bicarb 15, pH 7.05.
Give it up. I'll inform the family.
I answer no.
Cause of death was acute respiratory arrest. Either the meds didn't kick in fast enough or she was too weak after the open heart surgery to fight the infection.
I want an autopsy.
It's after 4:30, Dr. Westphal. Pathology's closed.
Open it.
Yes, people are dying to get in.
Something funny?
No, sir.
What's your name?
Joe Rockland.
Mr. Rockland, a young lady just died in here. You have a rotten sense of timing, you know that?
Hey, you! What do you think you're doing?
Son?
That's my flyer you just covered up. English lessons?
Yes, I want to learn to speak better, to be able to communicate better.
Yeah, well, you should have sorted that before you came over here, you know. I wouldn't go to India to live if I couldn't talk to the natives. Shows a lack of respect, Kochar.
Sorry, Doctor.
I don't have time to dilly-daddle with you. Look, if you want to find a tutor, call the Foreign Languages Department at Boston University. Comprende? I have a car to sell. And lessons is spelled with 2 S's, not a C. Learn a language.
$300? What are you talking about? $300?
Listen, a doctor without his beeper is like a cop without his gun.
Yeah, but I thought it was $260.
Well, what do you expect? Everything costs more. Now, sign here. Check or cash?
Bill me for it.
Bill you? Hey, what do you think this is, Filene's or something?
I'll put a check in the mail tomorrow.
Oh, no.
Look, you'll get your money, I promise you.
Mm-mm.
Just give me a break. This one time. Please.
Yeah.
Thank you. Ready for the main event?
I've had more tea than the Boston Tea Party.
You know, Leo, I'd still like to wait another day.
No, listen, Doc. I've been in training for the last 76 hours. When Leo Rashkov goes on the card, he's on the card to stay.
Well, if you're not able to go to the bathroom, we'll have to put the catheter back in.
I got you.
45 minutes.
You're looking at Leo Rashkov. My bladder does exactly what I tell it to.
Knockout in 3.
Okay, Leo. This isn't going to hurt a bit.
Yeah. And the check is in the mail.
All right, Megan, honey, I cannot study if you make that noise. Will you please stop it?
Megan, honey. Megan. Come on now. Stop playing with your spaghetti. Oh, honey. Mommy, I want ketchup. We don't eat ketchup with spaghetti. Peter?
No.
Diaper service wants their check tomorrow. Peter.
I heard you. I'm trying to read.
Why are you always reading, Daddy?
He's trying to read a medical book, honey.
Why?
So he can be a good doctor.
Look, why don't you two just talk? I'll drop out of the residency program. I won't study, all right? I don't see why we can't wash these diapers ourselves.
We is me, and I don't have the time or the energy to clean diapers.
Look at that. All right, well, look. All right, we're going to have to lose the diaper service.
No way, Peter.
Look, you want somebody to come in and clean once a week? We got somebody to come clean once a week. You want somebody to watch the kids while you go to graduate school? Fine, we got somebody.
We are not talking about extravagances, Peter.
Mommy, I want ketchup.
All I'm saying is we can't do everything.
We can't, but you can.
Mommy! Mommy!
Will you please be quiet?
I'll get you. Look, don't jump up from the table like
You can have $300 for a new beeper, but we can't get $20 for a diaper service. I'm tired of it, Peter. I'm just sick of it. You're not a husband anymore. You're not a father. You're just nothing anymore. Just a damn resident. I can't handle it.
All right. Here, I'll get the money.
Hi, Mrs. Sylvester. Hello. May I see the vitals?
As soon as I'm finished.
Still having pains in your abdomen? Could you roll over for me? Could you give me a hand?
Huh?
A little help.
I'll be finished in a minute.
Miss Losek, may I see you outside? Excuse us, Mrs. Sylvester. What are you trying to pull?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Like hell you don't. What do you call putting me down in front of a patient? Don't you ever question my authority again, lady, or I'll slam the door so hard on you, you won't know what hit you. And when I tell you to do something, you do it. Now, if you've got a problem with that, you take it up with your union or your psychiatrist. But when I say jump, you jump. And you get that?
May I speak? I don't like you. You're a good doctor, but you're an inadequate woman. I know it. Everybody knows it. You've got a cold heart.
Could you try sitting down?
I tried everything.
Couple days will be a breeze.
Don't put me back on that catheter, please.
A deal's a deal.
Just give me a couple more minutes.
Sorry, Leo. Give me a number 16 Foley catheter, please.
The winner, still champion, Leo Reichskalb.
I saw Ninochka yesterday.
Uh-huh.
It was up at the Orson Welles Cinema on a double bill with Idiot's Delight.
Yeah?
I was kind of disappointed. I thought there'd be more action. Garbo was funny.
All right, choose.
What's this?
Open it. Congratulations, Miss Martin. You have just won an all-expense-paid trip to Nantucket, Massachusetts, where you and the Lithuanian of your choice will spend 2 wonderful days and 1 tempestuous night in Shady Acres Cottage B, where you'll walk along the beach, dance under the moon, and romp with the loons till the cows come home. So what do you say?
I can't, Wayne.
No, it's all set. I talked to Bobby Ackerman about covering for you. Every single detail's taken care of. I even bought you some new thermal underwear.
You did?
Yeah. But you can trade all that for what's in envelope number 3, an all-expense-paid trip to Martha's Vineyard. I hear they got great sunsets there. Where are you going? Oh, I get it. You want number 1, don't you?
I have to, listen, I've got to get out of here.
What?
I've got to go.
You gotta go? Go where? Are you serious? You are serious? Well, wait a second. Talk to me.
Don't you understand? I've got to get out of here now.
Well, tell me why.
If you really knew me, then you'd know.
If I really knew you, I'd know what? What does that mean? I don't know what that means. But please, you can't just... Wait a second, you know? You can't just walk out the door. I don't understand. Tell me what's going on.
All you wanted out of this was a good time, remember? That's what you said you wanted, and that's what I want. But now, Wayne, it's...
Say it.
I don't want to have a relationship.
What do you mean? We have a relationship. Okay, all right, you don't want a relationship? We won't have a relationship. You want to call it something else? It's just a word. It'll be a brouhaha, a bagatelle, a bric-a-brac.
Will you listen to me? You never listen to what I'm saying.
I do, too.
I don't want a relationship.
You mean you don't want a relationship, or you don't want a relationship with me?
With you. I like you, Wayne. I don't love you. You've been so nice to me. I don't want to hurt you. But every time I try to get serious, you always turn it into a joke. I'm sorry.
What are you doing here? I thought you took the night off.
What can I say? I can't stay away from the place.
Yeah, I know. It's paradise.
Yeah, to me it is. See, the trouble with the real world is it just isn't real enough. It lacks intensity, excitement, the element of the unpredictable. Give me a GI bleeder, or full arrest, or a coma of unknown etiology, and I'm in heaven. Not only that, I love the free food.
Are you okay? You look terrible.
Sure, I look terrible, but I feel terrific. You know, my pulse is racing, my eyes are dilating.
My white corpuscles are fighting off infection at every turn.
Well, what about you, Cabanero? I mean, I hate to be the one to tell you this, but you're beginning to sag. I guess time and the pressures of the medical profession are beginning to take their toll. You should get some outside interests, you know, like yodeling or bareback riding.
Are you sure you're all right?
If you want, you know, I'd be happy to let you ride bear on my back.
They put you on hold and they forget about you. Right, look, Wendy, I'm stuck.
What, Peter?
I need to go pick up my car. Can you cover for me?
For how long?
Hour and a half tops. Probably not even that.
Yeah, sure.
Thanks. I owe you one. Really, I owe you one.
Still painting, Hugh?
Still life.
Apples and pears and stuff like that, huh?
I'm not very good with things that move.
Do you try to make them look real, or are you a fan of that abstract malarkey? I got an artist to paint a picture of my wife, my son, and myself. You should have... Boy, I had real problems with it. I mean, he caught my wife all right. But what he did to my son... You'd have thought he had a cleft palate. It's just a little dimple was all. Had to hurt Kirk Douglas. Damn smoke gets into everything. Man wants to kill himself, you think he'd have the decency to not stink up everything. For crying out loud, we're in a hospital. I mean, we've got enough germs crawling around as it is. Sure, they wash the floors, but you know, they don't get into the corners. And did you ever check under the beds? Tumbling tumbleweed under there. Hair on the sink. Window smudges. Crud in the soap dishes. Check and mate.
Hi, Ira. Hi, listen, honey, I'm not going to be home for a while.
Helen, do you have an aspirin?
It's in the back.
Hey.
What? Yeah, we got a problem here.
Thank you. Can I get you something?
I just feel so lousy. I don't even know why. I'm 37 years old. I come to work. I go home to an empty apartment. And I go to sleep. 12 years. I hate it. I used to fantasize that I'd meet someone and my life would be different. Now I can't even imagine living with someone again. You seem to have everything going for you. That makes me hurt even more.
I haven't had a relationship, a real one, with a man in longer than I care to remember. When I go out with a guy, either he can't handle my being a doctor, or I'm afraid I'll be swallowed up and lose my independence. So consequently, I can't seem to get this work-love thing to work together at the same time. And one without the other just isn't enough. Sometimes I feel as though I've been sold a bill of goods. Is it because everything has gotten so difficult, or is it because everything is just too easy? you see you're not alone. Who the hell's that aspirin?
Gotta be crazy to eat in this place voluntarily.
Hey, Peter White, sit down.
Yeah.
Hey, believe me, the food here is better than anything we get at the courthouse cafeteria. They season everything with jurisprudence.
What are you doing here?
Oh, I'm visiting a client. Her gardener had the bad taste to hit her with a shovel. Haven't seen you for a while.
Man, this place keeps me pretty busy. I've been meaning to give you a call.
Oh, yeah? About what?
Last time I saw you at Danny's barbecue, you just quit Levine Lambert.
Yeah, I wanted out of the corporate game something awful.
You were saying how difficult it is to find clients for a new law firm?
Yeah, well, if you want to go out on your own, you got to be willing to pay the piper. I don't exactly get the creme de la creme. Yet.
I run into a lot of potential legal cases here at the hospital. Hit and run, insurance claims, negligence, that sort of thing, you know?
Uh-huh, yeah.
I thought maybe we could work out an arrangement where you get first crack at some of these cases.
Yeah, sure, great. I'd like that. As a matter of fact, Peter, I got a couple other buddies over at Boston General, also residents, and we've worked out a similar arrangement. Everybody does it these days. They get $100 for every referral that turns into a client. But, just so we both know what's going on here, Peter, under your city contract, it's not exactly legal for you to solicit business for someone like myself.
Putting your card in somebody's pocket's not going to hurt anybody.
Hey, look, Peter, we don't know each other all that well, but listen, why don't you think the whole thing over?
Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
He was admitted with an anaphylactic reaction which required additional IV antibiotics, your basic infected bee sting. At 6:30 this morning, he complained of slight dizziness and some diarrhea. He had a fever of 99.6, and Dr. Ehrlich prescribed Ansef 1 gram Q6000. 1:30, he had a temperature had risen to 101, and he complained of diarrhea, fever, chills, and had some dyspnea with a productive cough.
How old is he?
19.
Any previous respiratory problems?
None.
102.6.
Hi, pal. Maybe you had a pretty rough day.
It really burns when I breathe deeply.
Is he bringing up phlegm?
He's also got a stool that's 90% water.
Can't you do something for me, doctor?
We'll start him on erythromycin 1 gram every 6 hours.
I already ordered it.
Now, don't worry, son. You're going to be all right. Helen. Close down the ward.
Sorry to keep you waiting. You're in your second year of residency.
First.
Married?
Yes.
Any kids?
Yes, our daughter is 4 and Timothy is almost 10 months.
Planning any more?
No, we're all done.
Well, everything looks fine. Give this to Sally out front. She'll explain our entire procedure to you and write you out a check.
Thank you.
Mention us to your colleagues. We're always glad when a doctor decides to donate his sperm.
The fomites and the culture media will all have to be picked up and checked for cross-contamination. These are your fomites. It's isolation gown, tubing, bottles of saliva.
How about papers or books, that sort of thing?
Basically anything that's been in contact with the infection. Now, your culture media. Food, water, custard, anywhere the bacteria can grow.
Now listen to me. Everything that you pick up will be run through Dr. Borbe from CDC. So it'll save me a lot of time if you'll divide things up among yourselves. Okay?
Are you sure we're not going to catch nothing?
Just wear your masks and keep your hands washed, you'll be all right.
What about catching it from another patient?
It's not transmitted from person to person. We'll be grading all our patients, putting them into two groups. Group 1, low probability. Young patients, first-day patients, asthmatics, pre-ops. This group will be reshuttled into the general hospital population. Group 2 are the high probabilities. Anyone with compromised respiratory status or immune deficient, and anyone over 65. We take them to Ward 4 East. Take special care with the old people. Nothing goes in, nothing comes out. Ward 5 is to be completely sealed.